Tonight, it's Madden NFL football. Super Bowl 57. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers versus Aaron Rodgers and the Denver Broncos.
It's the National Football League presented by EA Sports. Tonight it's all on the line. We play for the Lombardi Trophy, as it'll be the AFC champion Denver Broncos taking on the champions from the NFC, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Brandon Gaudin along with Charles Davis, and what a season it's been for our AFC champions. I mean, this was a fight just to get to the Super Bowl. You got to figure that they are very battle-tested and ready.
I'd agree with you 100% about that. You don't get there without having those types of attributes, and that's what you look for in a Super Bowl team. Character, confidence. These guys don't lack for either one of those. Now they're here. Now they're ready to win.
Meanwhile, our NFC champions, they have gone through a lot to get where they are. Everybody knows their story this season. What's the key for them as they start this Super Bowl?
Let's go full cliche on this one because it works. Remember what got you here. Been a winning formula all season long. This is a team that when we saw them in the preseason, we said they look like a group that has what it takes to be a Super Bowl winning team. And we've been proven right by what we've seen throughout the season.
The stage is finally set, and here we go. Super Bowl 57 is underway. And we will not have a return, so the first drive of this Super Bowl will begin at the 25. So here are the Broncos now for their opening drive. They'll be led out by the former Cal Bear, Aaron Rodgers.
And he's been sensational all season long, but he saved his best work for the playoffs, leading his guys to the AFC Championship a couple of weeks ago. And now he knows what lies ahead. He's going to need to play a near-perfect 4 quarters of football to get his guys to the finish line.
And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, when that continuity is there and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front linebackers, you're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense because someone's going to run for some big yardage.
Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. Now Rodgers. Room to run past midfield. And all the way down to the 41-yard line.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time you wait for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
Now a first down carry, it's Williams. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down. 8 yards to go on 2nd down. Now a handoff. Here's Williams. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. They give those 2 yards right back, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 10.
That was a terrific play, causing a loss. As a middle linebacker, simple. You can either fill holes or you can attack them, as he did there.
So a 3rd and 10, and defensively, a dime look. 6 DBs. Throwing is Rodgers. Man open, he's got it complete to Cortland Sutton. And a good job on the tackle there as they get him down shy of the first on the 35-yard stripe. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game. But it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. Third down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go and make the tackle right away.
Back now comes Tampa Bay. Well, that is not what you want to see from him on the big stage, obviously. He's been so reliable all season long.
A big part of why they've gotten here to this game. But you have to wonder, will this haunt them later as the Super Bowl progresses?
And he's got it across midfield and into Denver territory. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. A handoff to Fournette. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Throwing on first down is Brady. Goes right side, complete to Gronk. That catch good for only a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. A shotgun give to Fournette. And he'll be taken down by the face mask, it appeared. And yes, out come the flags.
Face mask, defense.
Well, Leonard Fournette, so big and strong, tough to wrap up. At that time, they did so by grabbing the face mask.
Well, as you well know, he's much too big for guys to try and arm tackle. You got to bring some body with you. This time, the hand got up too high, and that necessitated the throwing of the flag.
2nd down at 7. Now Brady. Escaping the pressure right. And now a fumble. Brady loses the football. And this is going to get out of bounds, so they will gain a bit of yardage on the play, actually, and they'll hold on to the football as well. Thankfully for the offense, a fortuitous bounce there on the fumble goes out of bounds because they're down here in the red zone. You don't want to lose one there.
You don't want to lose one, and the best part, because it went out of bounds, they retain possession, still have an opportunity to put points on the board.
Eluding the pressure right. This is caught. And inside the 5 here before he's out of bounds, right at the 3. A chance for the first score of this Super Bowl. Here's 1st and goal. Fournette. And he's into the end zone for a Tampa Bay touchdown. With a first touchdown of this Super Bowl and a long one at that. And the Bucs are on the board first here in this Super Bowl. But just power football there down near the goal line. Give it to him. He's able to push his way across.
Yeah, they went heavy there. Sometimes you have those big offensive linemen come in after report like they're eligible. But all they're doing is getting a good stance, blocking, and getting their runner across the goal line.
Ryan Suckup on for the point after. And that one gives the Bucs a 7-0 lead. So this drive spans 7 plays. And the man who finished it off with a run into the end zone, Leonard Fournette. Now Pinion with the kickoff honors following the touchdown. And this will come out to the 25 as Hamler elects not to return it. So now the 2nd drive offensively coming up for the Denver Broncos. They trail early on in this Super Bowl as they come up 1st and 10. They start the drive on the ground. It's Williams. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34. Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. Now Rodgers on the bootleg. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Devin White, the blitz works to perfection as he gets in there to dump it for a loss of 8. And nowhere to hide on that play.
No, there was not, because Every exit door, that was surrounded. I think that was supposed to be a bootleg, but he had no chance to get outside the pocket and try and make a play.
And the Bucs with an extra defender in the secondary now on third down. Rodgers now to throw. And that is incomplete.
Every offense tells you they want to come out and start fast. That's not unusual at all. But this group, they've yet to get much rolling through their first 2 drives. It looks like they're going to have to give up the football again after this one.
On fourth down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. Here's Beckham. Nifty running by Beckham. Nice work on the return as he gets about 15 yards back. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Tampa Bay, they're getting ready to set up shop here for their second drive. And coming up on their second drive of the game, had the touchdown last time out. Now they have the football back. Chance to really seize early momentum.
Feels to me like they had a really excellent week of practice and it all came together. But I'll bet you it got galvanized in the locker room in pregame. Somehow I think the head coach, his oratorical skills were on point.
Coming up on a 2nd and 6. Here's a give to Fournette. And he'll only get a yard, maybe 2, up to the 46. Here's Brady. It's caught by Mike Evans. And he is going to have the Buccaneers first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. They show run with 3 tight ends here on first down. Now Leonard Fournette. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
The throw over the middle, taken in. And this is going to be another first down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos 16.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
And he's down inside the 5 at the 4 before he's out of bounds.
Obviously, a big play was needed, and you can see his eyes light up as he realized there's absolutely no one in front of him. And he takes off and goes a long way. Not only does he pick up a first down, but a big gain to boot.
And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Buccaneers. Leonard Fournette, his 2nd touchdown of this Super Bowl. And the Buccaneers continue to look good here in the first half of this Super Bowl.
There's not much that's perfect in football, but that's about as close to it as you're going to get. Score, force a punt, score again.
And both drives were impressive. The opening drive was, that last one was. Now on the other side, though, what's your psyche? You're really behind the 8 ball.
You got to make sure you just hold in there. Survive the early storm, relax a little bit, and try and get back to your game plan. It's way too early for panic.
Extra point put through by Succop, and it's now 14-0. Following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. And this will come out to the 25 as Hamler elects not to return it. And Denver getting set to take the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on first down. From the gun, it's a run for Williams. And a minimal gain here as he's up to about the 47-yard line. Williams going to get it again on second down. A 1-yard gain there following the 3-yard pickup on first down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Left side here, that's the tight end fan. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down. Here's Sam Martin now as he'll kick it away for the second time. And this one's going toward the sideline. They'll try to play keep away from Beckham. And it's out of bounds. Now we'll see what the side judge says. He says out at the 8-yard line. So well done there. And these punters, they get more specialized and better each and every year, don't they?
They sure do. And now it's really not the American punters. It's the...
And he coughs up the football near his own goal line. It's picked up by the Broncos. And this is going to be brought back for a Denver touchdown. And what we just saw, very, very rare. We only had 5 of those in the first 50 Super Bowls.
The biggest stage, the biggest game, and we just saw it happen again. Extraordinary.
The defense has been good, and they were good again there. Cody Parkey is on now for the point after. And that one makes it 14-7. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there, grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. Leonard Fournette and the rest of the Bucs offense set to take over once more. He's been effective so far, over the 40-yard mark here in the second quarter. Don't forget about those guys up front, though. They've been effective, too.
The leverage game has been in their favor. They've been the ones who've been able to bend their knees, drop their hips, and get a little bit lower than the guys on the other side of the football. And they've moved them out of the way for the runner.
Sometimes that's tough for those big fellas.
Not an easy thing for them to do.
47 yards rushing for him now in the first half of this Super Bowl. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. From the gun, it's Brady. Slant route to Miller. And now off to the races, down the right side. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Scotty Miller, 62 yards. And the Bucs get the quick strike touchdown. And sometimes those slants, they can be so tough to defend after the catch. It just happens so quickly.
And really, what gets set up there is how quickly everything happens. Ball's out of the hands of the passer in a hurry, and he just takes it and goes.
And he went all the way into the end zone. Extra point up and good by Succop. And it's now 21-7. Pretty clean and simple there. Just 2 plays. The long pass resulting in the touchdown on play number 2. And this will come out to the 25 as Hamler elects not to return it. And the football going back over to the Denver Broncos. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
One play has him up past the 40 already and another 1st and 10. Off the draw, here's Williams. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. What makes a draw play like that successful?
Well, we did see it where he made the first wave miss, and that was a big part of it. But a lot of it is just being actors back there, making the defense think it's going to be a pass.
Meanwhile, Rodgers' throw taken in here by Patrick. Not much there, only a yard. But we're at the 41, 2nd and 9. Rodgers going to throw. 20. 10, 5, touchdown Broncos. Devontae Adams, 41 yards. And the Broncos have cut it to within a score.
I think if you polled defensive backs, they would say the corner route, take that out, make it illegal, because that is so hard to recognize and so hard to adjust, because your first move is to not get beat in the middle of the field, and that's how they move you first before they break off to the corner.
But then as the wide receiver, great job. It's tough to turn those upfield and go, but he did a great job with it there.
Really good balance, really good body control, and how about the end result? A touchdown.
Parkey adds the extra point, and that'll cut the lead down to a touchdown. The drive summary, 4 plays, 75 yards, and it culminates in a touchdown by the Broncos. Taken in at the 3. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. 1:58 left to play till we hit halftime. Coming up in a couple of minutes, we'll get you to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. The coach will have stats and scores from earlier today in the NFL. And now a fumble. Brady loses the football.
A lot of bad news on that play for them, wasn't there? Lost the football, lost a lot of yardage, but I think the good news outweighs it. Able to retain possession. That was big for them.
The fumble on first down. Now here's second down. Brady going to throw. They'll swing this out to Fournette. And he'll be corralled well upfield right around the 40-yard line. And they're going to hurry back to the line now. Brady now on first down. And that's complete. It's Chris Godwin. Looking to throw again on second down. Brady flushed out right. He's got it complete to Gronkowski. And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds. He was out there waving his arms, and when you got a quarterback out of the pocket looking for any help, I guess waving the arms is helpful.
It certainly is, because you got to get his attention, because now you're in scramble drill. So everyone's adjusting their routes, finding open space, and he found the right spot for the completion.
2nd and 2. Brady dancing to his left. And he is out of bounds inside the 30.
That was an excellent job of recognizing the situation. His first read wasn't there. Heck, his second read wasn't there. But he bought himself a little extra time scrambling out of the pocket, got to the sticks, and picked up the first down.
And that one going to be off target and incomplete.
They've given up a few first downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide. Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Brady.
And that is incomplete. 16 seconds now on the clock. This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Shotgun now for Brady. He's going to take a shot for the end zone. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Tyler Johnson, as the first half is winding down. And the Bucs would extend their lead here just before halftime.
Partner, to me, that touchdown had something that was kind of rooted in that group seeing the future. What I mean by that is they had a plan. Let's find a way to score right here before the half. And that'll give us momentum going into the second half. Give us that cushion that we're looking for. They got that accomplished, scoring right before the half ended.
Extra point put through by Succop. And the lead now up to 14. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. It's a squibber picked up around the 27. And they've got it up past the 35, so pretty good starting field position. The Broncos onto the field ready to start their next drive. And with Rodgers behind center, you wonder if they'll take one shot at this. Rodgers now on first down. Into the hands of Patrick left side. And he'll go out of bounds, it looks like, right at the 40. They'll contain him to just 4. Second down. A final shot before half for Rodgers. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. So it's halftime here on sports' grandest stage in the Super Bowl. As now we send you out to Orlando and hook back up with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. What a season this has been. Hard to believe it ends tonight, as we'll get back to you guys for the second half of this Super Bowl in just a moment. It's been a tremendous season of football, but it's not over yet. One half remains to decide who will stand on the podium with the Vince Lombardi Trophy. And to call the second half, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
These two teams sat through a longer than usual 30-minute wait, but we're back in action here in this Super Bowl. Taking it about the 1. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. Out come the Buccaneers. They'll have it first to start in the third quarter. And I would imagine this is where you have to take stock of the situation, CD, and say, gosh, we're halfway to the Lombardi Trophy. Let's not slow down now.
And I like the way you went there. Let's not slow down now, because the first half certainly went their way. And I would expect them to continue with that type of a game plan. But you're right. You do think back to Super Bowl 54. 49ers had a double-digit lead in the fourth quarter, couldn't hold on. So plenty can still happen.
The throw on second down by Brady is incomplete.
That's an excellent play by the defender. He diagnosed that one, closed quickly, and helped force the incompletion.
Throwing is Brady on third down. Dumps it off to Fournette. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off. Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon, and it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time, they pick up a first down. So now on defense, do you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going?
Not his best throw there, but where we sit right now in the third quarter, he's had a pretty good game throwing the football.
He certainly has, and it's not exactly at the point where we're doing 4-minute offense yet, but they've got to think about, I'm not going to say milking the clock, but understanding clock management here on out.
Brady now to throw. Looking for Godwin, and he's got him complete. But he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets, because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart, because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. To throw is Brady. And he's got Gronkowski. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. A 1-yard touchdown pass. And the Bucs will extend their third quarter lead here in this Super Bowl.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical. That's one of the words you've taught me. And they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the third quarter.
Not only pulling away, but you mentioned that slowly but surely. You also drain clock, too, with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
Now Pinion with the kickoff honors following the touchdown. And this will come out to the 25 as Hamler elects not to return it. So now a look at the Broncos as they head back out there for their first possession of the second half. They're down 3 touchdowns to this point, needing to put something together as they have it 1st and 10. They'll try to get this running game going with Williams. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. To throw is Rodgers. This one swung out to Williams. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch. And that's going to lead to a 3rd down. Shotgun now for Rodgers. He's got a man. It's Sutton that's complete. And all the way home for a Broncos score. Cortland Sutton, 69 yards. And the Broncos cut into that lead. Well, if they're going to make a game of this in the second half, they need a few big plays to go their way. That's one.
And the way to get it done is to also conserve time. So to your point, that big play right there, now you're not moving the ball downfield, taking time off the clock. You're leaving yourself a better avenue to continue to try and make a comeback.
Now Parkey for the extra point. And the lead will be cut down to 14. So a 75-yard scoring drive on just 3 plays. And it ends with a Denver touchdown. Now after the score, it's Parkey on to kick it away. Fielded just outside the goal line. A solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. Leonard Fournette making his way back out there. He's toppled the century mark already receiving the football, closing in on that on the ground, too. They've really had trouble handling him.
I think from what we've seen in this game, his success through the air has started to open things up for him on the ground because now he's loosened up the defense, right? They've got to play just about every snap as if another receiver can get downfield on them, and he's been that receiver. Now they bring him back to the backfield. I think his yardage running the ball will increase as this one goes on.
Well, they might need to devote some extra attention to him, something just to stop the momentum he has. And he'll get 2, maybe 3 up near the 37. Now Brady. And that will be incomplete.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
Here's Bradley Pinion now. And the way this offense has moved the ball, he hasn't been needed till here in the 3rd. Going to be a 43-yard punt, just a single yard on the return. And the Broncos take over, 1st down and 10. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. They come in off a touchdown drive the last time they had the ball that cut down that lead. Now the defense has done their part, got them the football back. Momentum started to shift a little bit when they scored the touchdown. It increased when the defense got them the ball back. Momentum definitely in their favor. Now they got to keep things cranking, keep it on high so they can keep cutting into that lead. A big play there on the catch and run. The thing that hurt on that play, the missed tackle, that allowed the extra yardage. It's a matchup game in the NFL. You get the guy that you want isolated, have him miss a tackle, and off you go. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down. Now it's Rodgers, and his throw is incomplete. A
A lot of times it's that first read that you have. Maybe you get it in pre-snap, and he locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
And it's complete to Adams. Touchdown! Davante Adams. His second touchdown of this Super Bowl. And the Broncos are able to cut into this deficit here in the final minute of the third.
I know Paul Revere talked about by land or by sea, right? You know, one by land, two by sea. He didn't mention air because right now we're seeing a big-time performance, aren't we? That's 2 touchdowns so far in this game.
Where'd you pull that one from?
And, you know, every now and then I actually listened in history class.
And you're just a scholar all the way around. You're reading all the time. I like that you fit that into the broadcast.
You know, I just grab a nugget when I can.
Parkey with the extra point, and that'll cut the lead down to a touchdown. Just a 4-play drive that time, and it culminates in a touchdown by the Broncos. Now after the score, it's Parkey on to kick it away. And we'll see a return here from the end zone. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. And here we go again with Tom Brady in Tampa's offense. He was good in the first half. He's been good still here so far in the third quarter, Charles.
It almost feels like when you're watching, all those drills that you know that they go through, all that extra practice, it's all coming together in this one, hasn't it? Everything's been sharp, everything's been accurate, and the yards continue to pile up, as do the rest of the stats.
Yeah, the yards. He's got the 3 touchdowns, no interceptions so far. Fournette once more on second down. And he'll go down, and that will do it for the third quarter of action. 1 quarter remains here in the Super Bowl. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And this has been all that we'd hoped for. 2 of the game's all-time great QBs slugging it out in a 1-score game here in the second half. 1st and 10. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 92 yards rushing for him now as he goes over the century mark here in this Super Bowl. So a 1st and 10 now in Denver territory at the 37-yard line. And the Broncos get there and take him down. It'll be a loss of 7 on the sack, and it brings up 2nd.
Hindsight is 20/20, partner. Maybe they should have kept it on the ground again.
Well, it almost looked like the O-line was run blocking again. I mean, they opened up a big hole last time. This time they opened up a hole, and the quarterback got sacked. A hole to dig out of here. 2nd and 17. Another try after the first down sack. Brady flush to his right. There he goes inside the 30. And finally down at the 9-yard line. A big play there on the catch and run. Big plays back and forth just continue. Both offenses excelling.
And I hear the excitement in your voice while you're calling this game. This hurts my soul as a defensive player, watching these teams go up and down the field and put points on the board.
Do me a favor the rest of the way. Sit back, relax, and just appreciate the offensive dominance that's going on out here.
I'll give it a shot.
And a nice pick up there. He gets about 5 down to the 4-yard line. 2nd and goal from inside the 5. Fournette again. And he gets halfway home from the 4 down to the 2-yard line. 3rd and goal, a big play in this Super Bowl. They fake the handoff. Now Brady. He'll buy some time right. And in for the Buccaneers touchdown. The 4th touchdown pass of the game for Tom Brady. And the Buccaneers are starting to pull away in the 4th quarter of this Super Bowl.
This is why a lot of play callers love play action in this spot. You just want to freeze the linebackers just for a second. Then you got a chance to get a quick pass into your tight end right behind them for a touchdown.
Suck up for the extra point. And the lead is up to 14. So that drive in total 8 plays. And it's all finished off with a touchdown by Tampa Bay. And following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. And this will come out to the 25 as Hamler elects not to return it. Out comes Devontae Adams in the offense for their next drive. When you're in a zone like he is, what's the conversation like on the sideline between he and his quarterback? Is that a one-way conversation of, hey, just keep getting me the football?
It actually is probably a two-way conversation because he wants to keep getting him the football because he's seeing the payoff. You know, getting the ball to that guy means yardage, and as we've seen, touchdowns in this game. So I think both of them get more and more excited about the possibilities as things continue on.
Yeah, so far it's been over 100 yards and the 2 scores. On first down, Rodgers. Right back to Judy, and it's complete. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Fourth quarter, every drive's so critical, and you figure may only get one more shot after this, so a touchdown's imperative on this drive.
It is, but you also have to think to yourself in play calling, don't hold anything back. Don't save it for the second touchdown. You got the first one for the second one to even matter.
But correct me if I'm wrong, you're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle each time you snap.
Now look out, Rodgers lost the football, and it's picked up by the Buccaneers. And they will set up shop in enemy territory at the 42-yard line. The defense, they were swarming that time and ultimately got to him before he could get rid of the football and knocked it free.
And don't you feel just a little bit of sympathy for him back there, though? So much going on, so much swirling around. He's trying to find someone downfield. He's trying to move around to find an open target. Sometimes you forget the number one thing, take care of the football.
Fournette, a first down carry. On the tackle that time, Shelby Harris. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Again, it's Fournette. Fighting his way down to about the 35-yard line. It'll be a pickup of a couple, and it leaves him with a 3rd and 3. On the draw, this is Fournette. And not much running room. Down to the 32. It's a pickup of 3, but it brings up what will be an interesting 4th and 1. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it, get the first down, close it out.
So that almost certainly the final piece to this puzzle, a 3-score lead. I don't think there's any coming back from there.
Well, you know, normally I'd get on you for giving up on the game right here, but I do think you're right in this case. This late in the game, 2 scores is tough enough. 3, I'm with you. That seems out of the question.
And this will come out to the 25 as Hamler elects not to return it. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. And their Super Bowl hopes are dwindling here in the 4th. That AFC crown from 2 weeks ago starting to seem like a distant memory. And this one just has not gone as they had hoped. Rodgers now on first down. He'll get this one to Patrick. Down under 2 minutes to go in this football game. So it's Bronco football as we get your reset here. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Rodgers' throw taken in by Adams. And he's got this almost to the 40 before going out. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Throwing now is Rodgers. Incomplete. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense, they're just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
5 yards, now it's 3rd and 5. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts. as they'll get it with just over 90 seconds to go in the ball game. The Bucs with an extra defender now in the secondary here on third down. Rodgers again now. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's fourth down. Now Rodgers got to have this one. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and that may write a finish to this Super Bowl. So they tried to go for it for pride, but it really wouldn't have mattered. This one, it was already determined.
No doubt about it. This one was over a while ago.
They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. Solid running on the carry, but still brought down just inside of the 40.
115 yards rushing for him now as his big night continues.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. They'll run it again with Fournette. Fournette fighting through, and he's taken down inside the 30.
I know we're in the era of wide-open football, a lot of spread formations, more space, but there's still a spot for power football, and we just saw some of it right there. How about that run?
Yeah, breaking the tackle, and, you know, late in this game, he wants the football in his hands. He's had a good day. A solid run on first down, gain of 7, leaves him with a 2nd and 3. This is Fournette, and he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18. A 3-yard pickup on 2nd and 4. Now they'll need to convert here on 3rd and a little more than a yard.
Well, praise has to go to the guys on the offensive line because they've had a very nice, productive day running the football. How about that poor defensive line? They've been knocked around the entire game, and while they slowed them down on that run, can they continue to do so? Because they haven't had much success throughout this ball game.
The Tampa Bay Buccaneers have won the Super Bowl, and they will hoist the Lombardi Trophy to cap an amazing season. And when this moment comes, I think you look back at all the blood, sweat, and tears, the offseason, the workouts, training camp, week 1, 2, 3, all building up now to say you're a Super Bowl champion. It's worth it.
It certainly is, and rarely do we have a team that hoists the Lombardi Trophy that didn't have their share of bumps along the way, didn't have to face some adversity in the journey, and now they get to just enjoy it and revel in it. And all offseason, they'll be signing their autographs with Super Bowl champion underneath it.
And they are the Super Bowl champs. The Lombardi Trophy is theirs, and so are bragging rights for an entire season. And what a season it has been. Feels like we have been there every step of the way. Our entire crew doing a wonderful job. Thanks to my broadcast partner, Charles Davis. For all those guys, I'm Brandon Gaudin signing off. We'll talk to you next season right here on EA Sports.